Have you ever questioned if enlightenment is real? If you do think it is real, then do you think you need a guru to teach you something special? Stick around, because I'm going to be talking about all these things and more. Hello Enlightenment Seekers, this is Finding Enlightenment with Jay, and as you may have guessed, I'm Jay. Today we're tackling a big timeless question that has inspired seekers, skeptics, scientists, and philosophers for centuries. Is enlightenment real, and must it come from a guru? I want to make this clear from the start. Many traditions, modern teachers, and empirical studies point to the reality of profound shifts in human awareness. There is credible evidence that such shifts can occur without a single living teacher guiding every step. To begin, let's define what I mean by enlightenment so that we're all on the same page. For the purpose of this video, enlightenment refers to a sustained transformation on how a person experiences themselves and their world. A lasting reduction in self-centered reactivity, and a direct lived sense of clarity, presence, or non-dual awareness that change behavior and perception. Different traditions have different words, but the core idea is a deep enduring change in a structural experience rather than a temporary mood or intellectual insight. Historically, the idea that awakening can happen without a personal teacher is not new. Foundational texts and stories from multiple spiritual traditions include accounts of individuals that realize truth from their own inquiry, practice, or sudden insight. In early Buddhist records, the Buddha was described as having awakened from his own efforts and insights. And many Zen and Mayan stories celebrate moments of direct realization that arise spontaneously or through solitary practice. These narratives show through the possibility of teacherless awakening is embedded in the various traditions that many people assume require a guru. Philosophically, several influential modern teachers have argued that dependence on authority can become an obstacle to genuine insight. Jiddu Krishnamurti, for example, insisted that truth cannot be handed down by authority, and that each person must discover it directly through observation and inquiry. His public dialogues and writings emphasize self-understanding and freedom from psychological dependence, and his life is often cited from someone that taught the possibility of independent discovery. Other contemporary voices echo the same point while acknowledging that guidance can be helpful. They distinguish from useful instruction and the kind of dependency that prevent honest self-examination. Beyond stories and philosophy, there is practical and empirical evidence that disciplined, self-directed practice can produce profound and measurable changes. First-person accounts and autobiographies from a wide range of practitioners describe sudden awakenings and gradual deepenings that occurred without a single continuous guru relationship. These narratives are not proven in the scientific sense, but they are consistent and cross-cultural, which strengthens their credibility. Second, modern research into meditation and contemplative practice has documented reliable changes in attention, emotional regulation, and brain function associated with long-term practice. Neuroscience studies show that sustained meditation can alter neural networks involved in self-referential thinking and stress reactivity, and clinical research links contemplative training to reduced anxiety, greater empathy, and improved well-being. While science does not have a single objective marker for enlightenment, the convergence of subjective reports and measurable changes supports the claim that deep transformation is possible through practice. It is also important to be realistic about what without a guru means within practice. Saying you do not need a guru does not mean you should isolate yourself or ignore the wisdom of those that have gone before you. Books, recorded talks, peer groups, retreats, and occasional teachers can provide structure, feedback, and correction that reduce the risk of self-delusion. Many successful independent practitioners combine solitary inquiry with study of reliable texts, participation in community, and periodic guidance from experienced teachers or mentors. In other words, independence does not mean doing everything alone. It means not being psychologically dependent on a single authority to validate your experience. If you are interested in pursuing awakening on your own, there are practical steps that have been validated by tradition and modern practice. Regular meditation or contemplative practice builds the capacity for sustained attention and clarity, which are prerequisites for deeper insight, honest self-inquiry, and asking questions like who am I, or what is aware of this thought, can reveal the assumptions that sustain a limited sense of self. Studying reliable sources and the accounts of experienced practitioners helps you recognize common pitfalls and patterns of delusion. Finally, testing insights in daily life, observing whether compassion, equanimity, or freedom from reactivity actually increase, provides the most important evidence that the shift is genuine and lasting. Skepticism is healthy and necessary in this domain because the human mind is adept at creating convincing illusions. Many people report spiritual experiences that can later be transient or ego-enhancing. That is why community feedback, ethical behavior, and long-term stability are crucial criteria for judging that an experience is a true awakening. A genuine shift tends to be accompanied by humility, consistent ethical conduct, and a durable reduction in fear and self-centeredness. To summarize, enlightenment as a real transformative phenomenon is supported by historical accounts and philosophical arguments, first-person narratives, and scientific findings about the effects of contemplative practice. A personal guru can accelerate learning, offer correction, and provide a living example, but the evidence shows that a guru is not an absolute prerequisite for realization. Independent seekers can and do awaken through disciplined practice, honest inquiry, and wise use of available resources. If this topic resonates with you, considering starting with a simple daily practice of attention and self-observation, reading primary texts from traditions that you respect, and finding a community where you can test your insights and receive feedback. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and share your questions or experiences in the comments so that we can keep this conversation going. Thank you for watching, and may your inquiry be clear, courageous, and kind. Namaste, and let's keep finding enlightenment together.